Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Howdy.
Howdy. Enjoying the weather.
Beautiful.
You'll be able to skate in the next couple of days over to my house if you want. I think it's going to go below zero tomorrow or tonight. Hmm. Did everyone have a lovely holiday?
We had a busy holiday. We had 15 students,
Wow. How big was the turkey?
22 pounds.
Wow. Probably went
Where
in.
are they from?
UMass, they're foreign students from Kazakhstan.
Have they had a Thanksgiving meal before?
Yeah, this is something we do every year. So they've done it in the past few years too.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, very nice.
So what they think of turkey and stuffing and all the
They
trimmings?
they ate it.
Did they all go home with leftovers?
Oh yeah,
Uh, I had
and
a,
they're all still alive.
my nephew just bought a house, and him and his wife invited her family, my family, and it was a huge amount. Two turkeys, seating all over the place. It was very interesting. And a niece fly in from Paris and or Marseille, and a nephew from Ireland, so it was kind of fun.
Hmm.
People, family now living overseas, but a lot of fun. Were you in town, Stephen?
We were in town. Uh-huh. Yeah, we were supposed to have some friends from Baltimore come up, but one of them had I guess you could say, somewhat of a medical emergency. Um, he had a kidney stone that had to be operated on.
Hmm.
Ooh.
So they didn't make it. So we got a smaller turkey. I still smoked it though.
Oh, you smoked it. Oh, fun.
I've been doing that
How
for,
do you do? How do you do that?
well, I have what's called a smoker grill.
Okay.
It's columnar things. And, the key thing is, well, mine's electric. Um, so I get wood chunks. I soak them in water for over half an hour. And then as it operates, you put the chunks on the burner element and it creates smoke, and you have a water pan in there. And the turkey, as it drips fat and whatever else, it just goes into the water pan.
Hmm.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
And
So what kind of wood do you use?
I use a combination of cherry and alder. Gives a mild smoke. I don't like heavily smoked things. A lot of people don't, but so it has a different flavor, but it's not overwhelming. Um,
Hmm. Good.
Sounds very interesting. I like smoked products. I also don't mind heavily smoked flavored things. I have I collect black walnut shells after
mm.
the squirrels eat them, and that's a very heavy smoked, very peaty stuff. So that's a fun. I do that with oysters.
Uh, I have smoked oysters.
Mm. I tried smoking salmon once, but I didn't do something right. A friend did it for me, but I didn't do something. You have to salt brine it for a while.
Yep, yeah, I do that.
Yeah. But
Yeah, and
anyway,
then my smoker, it's older, so it doesn't have any kind of control to control the heat. So the last time I smoked a piece of salmon, I had the lid practically off um, because I needed to keep the temperature low, like around 150 for the first hour. Otherwise, you know how sometimes when you cook salmon, all that white product comes out? Well, that's because you're actually cooking it too hot, too fast, and the muscles are contracting too quickly. So it makes it drier and not as flavorful. Um,
Hmm.
Interesting. Oh, well, it's 5:34. I think if someone else is coming in, we'll let them in. But right now, I think we'll open. We have a quorum, so I'll open the meeting. We have Jeff Quackenbush, Stephen Dalmas, and Frank McGinn. Call the meeting to order at 5:35. I sent out the minutes late. I shared them today. I thought I had shared them before, but when I looked at them today, they weren't shared. If you want to look at them now, or we can postpone it till the next meeting, that's fine with me.
Let's postpone them. I haven't looked at them.
Yeah, okay.
are
We'll
we
just,
supposed to be able to, are we supposed to tell you what to change?
yes.
Okay,
Phil Parker's name was wrong, so I changed that and a couple
my
of
name's wrong. It's Dallmus,
MUS. It is.
and it's not in
Yes.
there. And my name is Stephen with a PH, not with a V.
I don't know why so okay. So we'll look at that next week.
Did you read through those, Frank?
Yes, quickly.
Because, well, I did quickly as well, and I feel that they're now redundant. It like goes through the meeting and then it goes like, I don't know, action levels or this or that. And it's like, well, I already read this before. I read this before.
It's
So
interesting. I'm using, we had 8 or so different feedbacks, and I went to use the last one that we liked, the feedback template, and it's totally different. I don't know why. So I'll look at it again and see if I can match it up. But we'll do that next week. I guess we wanted the meeting today because you wanted to go over the electrical. Have you had a conversation? You were talking to Patoric,
For
Stephen?
sure.
Patoric.
Sure. Oh, Pachoric is also misspelled in the minutes.
Okay, I'll look at that again. I'm
Um, well, I had to, the key thing was to get an update from Grace,
right.
which he finally was able to get to me today. And I went through it and then Jeff and I actually talked about it a little bit this afternoon. And now the updated price for Grace, the total is 10,160. The total for Pechoric is 10,650. And one of the things that we noticed was that there was quite a bit of difference between Grace and Pechoric at Town Hall. And one of the things I noted was Pechoric is referring to the walls in Town Hall as being concrete. And I didn't know if that was adding to the cost of replacing these electrical panels. So I actually called him and got to speak to him um, this evening or late this afternoon. And long story short, that doesn't make that much difference. But he brought up something that I don't think that I had asked Grace about, whether or not Grace is paying prevailing wage to anyone that works for him.
Ah,
Um, but if he is, the estimates are practically the same. If he isn't, they'd be quite a bit different. Um, but Pechoric also um, made a couple comments, like apparently recently there was some issue at town hall. Somebody was concerned about something, and he got somebody out there right away. And it looks like he also has done work pretty regularly at the elementary school. Um,
I didn't know that.
well, that's the sense I got from something that I don't know if he said it or I read it, but um, and one of the things I liked is his estimate is a lot more detailed in terms of what he's doing. And I hadn't noticed this until after our last meeting, and I was going through his response. He actually had gone through our scope of work where we had questions and we were saying, like electrician to get permits. And he actually responded to all those things,
Mhm.
Mm.
as well as, last time we had noted that he had made the comment about the ground fault circuit interrupters, and I had used the spec that I got from Anna where it talked about this hospital grade, and he was saying how that really was very unusual and not really necessary in our location, in our situation, and it added quite a bit of money to the cost. So, I feel, and I think Jeff also feels, but I'll let Jeff speak for himself, that Pechoric seems to provide, he provides more information. He seems quite clear about what he's doing or not doing. And it's a larger company, so I think we could, if we had an emergency, I think we could expect him to send somebody out very quickly if we needed that. I mean, Grace might be the same, but um, my vote at this point would be that we go for Pechoric because the prices are so close. And like I said, I'd have to check with Grace to see if he's prevailing wage.
I tend to agree with, we should go with the chart, but why don't you review what's not included in that price, just so everybody else is aware of that.
Well, the two prices are all the things we wanted done at Old Town Hall, Fire Department, Highway Department, but none of the emergency lighting. Part of that's because um, when Jeff and I went through with Pechoric, um, we came up with a lot of locations where we thought it might be necessary to have emergency lighting. But I don't remember this clearly, but I think we had discussed that we, the committee, needed to be clear as to what we needed. So we need to talk to, I guess, the building inspector, whoever it is, that will be able to tell us what we need before we get, a quote for that. And that's what that's why he didn't provide a quote for that. He did provide a quote for the highway department emergency lighting, but that's not part of this 10,650. That's separate. So I guess what we're saying right now is we would do the electrical items, but no emergency lighting. And one other thing, when we went through with Pechoric, Len, was talking about some of the additional lighting that he would like, but that was never in on the scope of what we wanted to have done. I mean, things that we're having done are things to make the electrical systems, we'll say, safer.
Mhm. Correct.
Electrical panels, sort of safer.
Mhm.
So, what Len wanted is some additional lights uh, outside the three doors where the engine bays are. And maybe someday we'll do that, but that's not a necessity, or it's not going to make it. I mean, I guess you could argue that it would be safer because there's more light, but it's a different safety.
On that, and added to that, that's our going, this money comes out of our budget.
Hmm.
Is if we go with Pechoric and Lenny wants to put it in his budget, would we do that? Let him put the extra lighting in through his budget while he's there?
Um, Well, he gave us a separate quote for that. I mean, at this point, his estimate is good for a couple more days. so we need to respond. Um, you know, my my thought was if we approve it, I'll get back to him and let him know we want to do uh, what we want to do, and we're not going to do this extra at the fire department.
Okay. So you're confident, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm good with this.
It sounds good to me too.
And me too.
So I think we probably should have a
Yep.
motion.
Yep. A motion to, do I have a motion to accept Patoric's bid to go through with the safety electrical updates at the various buildings?
I move that we use the Pechoric Electric estimates that include improvements, safety improvements to Town Hall, Old Town Hall, Fire Department, Highway Department for a total of $10,650. And that excludes other desired improvements to the fire department. That excludes that, and it also does not include any emergency lighting.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
And roll call vote.
Alamus, aye.
Cook eye.
Quackenbush on.
McGinn, aye. Thank you.
Would it make sense, since we're not doing these extra lights for the fire department, to just communicate that back, that it's not included because it's not a safety issue, but if they want to pursue that through their own budget, they can. And perhaps in theory that could, if that works out for them, then Pechoric could do all the work in one trip.
Sure. Oh, and Jeff had asked me, when we were talking today, when the two different electricians could get to the work. And when I had spoken with Grace right after our last meeting, I think he said it wouldn't be till January or February. And Pechoric said he could probably get to a lot of this, like maybe later next week. But town hall would require some coordination because they're going to have power off for sections. Uh, and he was even saying, maybe around Christmas might be a good time.
Okay. And I also was, when we walked around, was you and I walked around with Torek, Stephen, I was very, he had, when I talked to him on the phone, he hasn't been able to coordinate. We still have to fix the elevator system, and he has a friend that does that, and he promised to get back to him, but it didn't work out in timing. So that, I think he'll push for that too, to work on that. The fire system at Town Hall, so we can expand that because we have those monies. Okay. Thank you. Um, the Knox boxes aren't going anywhere. I've got to figure, I might have to have Lenny, because I went through and did the whole thing and it wants a credit card, and I've asked Town Hall and I've got to go back to them, and I might have Haley do it as the administrator, so we can get that finally going. And that's all I have on that for today. I talked to the company that did the heating system at the library, and they are going to send one of the maintenance guys out to review our buildings in the future. I don't know if anyone else wants to do that. I want to get like one person doing, we talked about that, doing one person maintenance. But around the holiday season, it wasn't good. The last holiday wasn't good for them. Then they're going to try to get back to me next week for this week. And because I want them to look at the school specifically. The school heating system is already over their yearly budget so far. What's happening in and out. And I don't
When
understand.
you say yearly budget, which year?
Their school year budget. They put X amount in, and they've already gone and surpassed it this year with the maintenance on that old system. So
So you're saying that the school year, we're talking from September to June,
yeah,
and they've already exceeded the budget.
yeah. And just because they've had a bunch of little problems, I told you about the fan belt for the air system.
Mhm.
And I haven't got back to Matt to see if if that's working flawlessly. They replaced all three belts, but then they've had a lot of tripping, not tricking, tripping in one or the other. And I'm not as comfortable to have Jamrod constantly go over there as an emergency. Um, and constantly look at that. So that's why Jeff gave me the name of the new company, and we'll see. We'll have another outlet. Talking to the woman, they also do mini splits and everything else. And I know that when I went around with the ECAC committee to do the evaluation with the gentleman or the company that they wrote up everything for the energy systems, and I think I told you in one of the other meetings that they looked at all the mini splits, and the ones that are older and the ones we have problems with was at the height of mini splits, and the technology and the machines are so much better now. And I know we've got to replace two, I think, one at fire station and one for the assessor's office is not working. And this is something they also do. So I'd like to get together with them and go around all our buildings. We can cross country ski if there's still snow.
What's the company? Do you remember the name?
Um, I just had it up and I just closed that window. See, what's the name of the from
Something Steam.
Yeah.
yeah,
Frank,
yeah.
I would very much like to be part of that.
I was hoping you were going to say that. I was hoping we'll drag Jeff too if he wants.
Royal Steam.
Yeah.
Royal Steam.
Okay. Cool.
Where are they located?
Hmm?
Where are they located?
Gardner.
Gardner, Mass.
How far away is that?
Oh, thousands of miles. Yeah, you don't know where Gardner is? Like the furniture capital of Massachusetts.
Yeah, right off the pike.
I'm from Maryland. What do I know?
If you go towards Boston on Route 2, it's where the highway is a double. You have two lanes after you get through the single lane. It's right there.
So what is that? Half an hour away?
Yeah.
Okay, so not that far.
No. If you go on their website, it's really neat because they've got it looks like they've got workers that look old, so they've been working around old machines.
Well, any company that incorporates steam into their name
Right.
has got to have been around for a very long time. And
Oh.
if they know steam, they've got some pretty smart plumbers.
Yeah.
I would be happy to go too, but I'm assuming my schedule will be a little tricky. But if you guys, whatever you guys work out, if I can join, I will. That might make the most sense.
Yeah. And let me ask you, what works best for people, mornings or afternoons? It's going to take like an hour to do all the buildings, or maybe 2 hours. So
It's going to take more than an hour.
maybe more than an hour, And I've got to coordinate that with the school too. So I'd like to do start at the school. Because that's that's the biggest system.
Well, I often have different appointments, but Tuesday morning and Thursday morning are not good.
Okay.
That's a given. And there can be other times that aren't good.
I'll find out what's available. It's going to be the service manager,
Uh-huh.
and I think that so.
I will tell you that often Mondays, often are quite open.
Well, we'll coordinate all that, and I'll send a group email out, so that'll work.
My schedule's all over the place, but it doesn't book out very far. So it's like next week and the week after are totally chaos. But the third week, I don't book out super far in advance.
Right.
But so I don't know. I don't have any helpful information based on that.
Yeah, but I was disappointed. I'm on the email list now, and they've had, the thing they have two boilers, two burners, and one has been tripping out. And if you look at the bills, it happens often. So we've updated all the computer systems, so I'd like to get a second opinion as why it trips. So
So when you say a trip, is the burner shutting down?
yes, I believe that's what they say. Yeah.
The burner's shutting down, not the power
Right.
is tripping.
Right. So, and they have to come in and reset it, and it kept on tripping the other day. So it was something amick. There's also when we looked at the I've been going over there a lot, so I don't remember what I've told you, but they had they filled up the oil tank and the utility room where all the oil tank inside the building, the measuring and security and system securities and all that, filled up with diesel and it went into the school. Diesel smell, excuse me. And what basically happened is the device that measures pressure, it's a pressure gauge that measures it, comes up PVC pipe in the hole in the floor. And that's probably where the excess came in. Matt ordered 5,000 gallons because he looked at the device that shows how much it is, and it only took 3,000. So they had the thing on full, and normally um, they slow down. You know, like when you're doing your gas at your tank, you know, you leave it on high, and then when it gets to the end, you slow it up and fill it. You know, tap it a few more times, you're done. So that's what they do with these big trucks. So they ordered 5,000, but they only got 3,100. And so it was on full, and they would have slowed it down before 5,000. And the automatic shutoff happened, which is on both sides. There's a ball shutoff in the when you add oil, and that happened. So that's probably where the little spill went. But that room has a lot of old devices in it that none of it works. So this is why I'd like to have like the second guess of from someone who's been around a long time with steam, whatever, to see what's worth fixing and what's not worth fixing. The fact that it said it needed over five, it's a 10,000 gallon tank, and it needed, you know, it said it needed over 5,000 gallons, and that's the normal what they normally use. They order 5,000, but the gauge was off, and it's one of those water pressure gauge things, so it's not what. Maybe it might have had oil in it, the fuel oil. But anyway, so that's why I'm excited about the new company looking at it just to see because it is an older system. So that's my updates on the elementary school.
I have a question on the elementary school. I've received emails that they want to repave.
Yes.
So what do they want to do? Because I'm getting questions from them about hiring engineers and getting bids and all this stuff, but I don't really know what the scope of work is. Do they want to change?
Yes, they want to reroute they want to do something with the bus system, you know, how the buses work now. Anna would know this more than me. Do your kids take the bus?
Yeah.
I don't know if you listen to the school committee meetings, but it's about the logistics of getting the kids in and out and the parents and all that. And just they want to dig that whole thing up and change it. They're also looking into putting, I forget what the name of it is the garage tops with all the solar on it would be another thing that they're going to try to apply for. So
The garage tops with all
oh,
this.
and it's like you have at UMass Amherst, you know, all the
Oh,
garages have the solar on top of them, not garage.
It's the parking lots with the solar.
Yeah, it's got a name though.
Park under the solar.
Yeah. Because then they can utilize that. That was my understanding when I was out there. And I talking to Nate and that you know I've got to still figure out, and I still haven't been able to figure out how old that tank is to see if it needs to be replaced because I know it's over than 30 years old. Um, and I just haven't been able to get a hold of I'll have to walk down there, the custodian from many, many years ago who knows all this, but everyone I've talked to, old principals and everything, I don't remember because it was before their time. Because that would be part of the plan, Jeff, if we have to do something with that tank. It'd be nicer to coordinate all this rather than dig up that hole.
And who's paying for all this?
The school, this isn't on I think way back when, if I don't know if it was us or the old school committee, old buildings committee was, we're vertical, the highway department's horizontal. So I don't know who would be, it wouldn't be coming out of our budget monies. It would probably be coming out of the school budget or the town's budget. It'd have to be a special, I think it'd have to be a special town meeting or a special warrant on a town meeting to pay for it, to get the money.
Okay. Because we're talking some serious money here.
I think you were instrumental the other day when he was on, you have to hire an engineer, and you brought all that up. That's why you get all those questions going forward. But yeah, this would have to definitely go through a town meeting because it is big bucks.
Okay. Well, now that I understand the scope a little bit, I think I need to email back to Nate. I don't think they understand how complex this is going to be.
Yeah.
And especially if this is horizontal, so this will be chapter 30 mass bidding crap. And this is going to be like when we did the roof, they're going to have to get a real designer to put together real drawings and specs and all that stuff.
Would like a site engineer like Berkshire Design Group be an appropriate party for that?
I gave them Berkshire Design Group, and apparently they're not interested.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. So Nate was hoping that they could recommend somebody else, but as of last time I emailed Nate, he hadn't got a response yet. So, do you know any good civils around here? Because I think this is a civil engineer project.
They're my go-to.
Berkshire.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
I'll think about that. I've worked with Levesque before, not recently, but he was good. He did some work
Where is he?
Coles for WD Coles, and we did Atkins in North Amherst, that barn. He did all the site planning for that.
Okay.
I thought he was really good, and he dealt with that, that team of ownership well.
Okay. Can you send him a name?
Yeah. I'm sorry, it just cut out. You want me to send you the name, or you want me to send him the information?
Either one.
Okay.
Either one.
Okay.
Because all the civils I used all came out of Boston, so I don't know the locals.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't worked with them in a number of years, but it was good on that project.
Okay.
A friend of mine was in charge of the massive addition at the Orange Elementary School. I'll reach out to him and see what they use, because they redid everything over there the same way. And Bruce was head of that committee when he did that. So
Now I know Gale Associates, who we did use for the roof, could do it, but they're all the way in Boston. It'd be nice if we could find somebody closer.
who is this? Who's doing the dam? CV something or other? Who's the engineers on the dam? Aren't they civil? No,
No.
I think they're out. Might be. I forget. They're out of Connecticut or Boston, or out of Connecticut or somewhere south.
Hartford.
GVW, not GVW. Yeah. They just bought my brother-in-law's business. That's why I was thinking of them.
Hmm.
He's a civil engineer, and he's licensed all over the country. So cool. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Anna, when you got a price on the gutters at the highway department,
Yep.
did they have any problems installing the gutters on that banged up front of the building?
He didn't mention anything about that, although we did talk about the new gutters instead of the downspout dropping in the current location, having it swoop to the side, so kind of not on the wall with the overhead doors, but on the side of that, so that at least it drops where somebody's less likely to back into it.
Okay, all right.
If we're talking about the same corner, like if you're standing in the parking lot facing the overhead doors, that top right or the far right side.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. That was like an obvious, like, oh, it looks like someone's bumped this a couple 10 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I assume their number's no longer good.
Um, I think on paper it's not, but they've held numbers for me for several months.
Yeah, it's been like 6 months, I bet.
Okay. Um, if
So,
is it something where I'm happy to ask them to update that if necessary, or is this a good time to see if the prices change, or do we want to wait till we're ready to pull the trigger?
well, that's kind of my question to the group.
Well, we had talked about it last time, and I think we had talked about going ahead
Yes.
as long as there wasn't an issue with install on the front of the highway department. And when you and I went down there, Jeff, I couldn't see anything that would suggest to me that it would be problematic.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't have any concerns when we visited the site.
Okay. So do we want to go ahead with that project?
I think so.
Okay.
What was the numbers again, approximate?
I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't either, but I could pull it up.
That's fine, yeah.
Well, if you can pull it up, Anna, and we could hear what it is, we could have a vote on it and pursue it.
Sure. Let's find that. So all right, so I've got 3 quotes. The first one is downloading. The first one is for town hall, and it was $753.35.
Okay.
And I had a couple. Do you want me to review the notes on that, or you just want the numbers?
Now, what are the notes?
On town hall, we had talked about, or one of us had talked about whether they could be repaired or replaced. You recommended replacement, and also because it looked like they've been repaired prior, and those just tend to not hold up. And just confirming that I was correct, or the locations were correct on the back. There's if you're standing in the parking lot facing the rear entrance of town hall, there's a shed roof to the far right and the far left. That's what's included here.
Mhm.
There's nothing in the proposal to do anything about water coming off the roof right over that rear entrance to town hall that's in the center, because there's no real eave there. There's just like a valley that kind of just drops in there.
Yeah, you had raised the question previously about whether or not to put a scupper on there, but
Yes.
it would take reflashing to get everything, to make sure everything went into the scupper. So I think it's you and I may have discussed that a little bit and decided that
Yeah.
would be something to have them do.
Yep. Okay. Great. So we won't mess. So then that quote is good as is if everybody agrees.
So it's the two little shed roofs at the back,
Yep.
but then there's also up at the front on the left side, right?
Yes. Front at the left side that's the area where he recommends replacing it and not repairing it. So it'd be
Okay.
replaced, same location, same drop.
Yep.
And then fire department is $1,882 or $82.40. That the only a small change there from original discussion was on the west side. He was recommending that there's a downspout at both ends of that gutter just because of the volume of water that's coming down. But we met Lenny there, and he would prefer if more water it goes to the south than to the east. So they were going to pitch the gutter so that it goes more like 60-40 or 70-30, sending more water to the east or to the south than the north.
Okay.
Okay. And then, I'm sorry, I just have to navigate in and out of these emails. So then the highway department, the total price was $561.35. And then notes on there. There are two seams near the east end. He recommends full replacement of the gutter and downspouts as those seams will eventually fail. So that is $1,319. If we want to seam again, he would bring the seam a little farther than where it is, because right now it's over a door, and he'd bring it so that the seam is between the doors. And that way, when it still eventually fails, as he recommends against doing, then the water is not dripping at a door opening, it's dripping between the doors. So I'm sorry, I should have read that first. So if we want to do replace the section that's bad, seam it, he'd move the seam that's 561. He doesn't recommend this, or we spend 1,319 and do the whole thing so we avoid seams.
Let's just do the whole thing.
Right. Okay. And then just to repeat, then this is where on the east end, we're recommending that downspout wraps the corner and drops on the side of the building instead of on the face of it.
And that was $1,319 even.
Yes. I believe so.
Okay, so I've been doing adding
Oh,
this.
I'm sorry, in 10 cents.
Oh, geez.
I know. I'll throw that in if that's a problem.
So I've got for the three a total. If we do the better solution for the highway department, we've got $3,254 for the whole job, all three jobs.
Sounds good. So do I have a motion to go forward with the gutters?
Yes, I'll make the motion to move forward with the 3 quotes for Mr. Gutter, including the full replacement at the highway department.
Totally.
I'll second that. And that's for a total of approximately $3,254. If I did my math right.
We trust you.
Okay, roll call vote.
Dallas, aye.
Cook eye.
Blackenbush eye.
Again, aye. Okay, thank you, Anna, for doing that.
What's the process here? Can I just reach out to Mr. Gutter like normal to tell him to go ahead with this and then direct the bill to town hall, or what's the billing procedure here?
I would, are you going to call him or email him, or can you do both?
I'll call first, but I can also email. Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I think if you when you email him the thing and then email Haley, because
Okay.
she'll be doing all that and she'll know what to do.
Okay.
And then she'll
Can I get Haley's email off the town website?
yeah, it's
Town administrator.
Oh, it's out. I got you. Okay.
so it's really easy. So
Yeah. Got it. Okay.
And those prices are prevailing wage rate.
I don't think so. I did not ask him that, so I'm assuming not. Is that a requirement even in a small project like this?
I think so.
Okay. Then I will have to ask that. I didn't mention that to him, so I would assume that it's not included.
I thought the prevailing wage was $10,000 and above, or is it all jobs?
I think 10,000 and above is you need multiple pricing.
That's what it is. Yes. Okay. Yep.
Because even when we had the slate repaired over at the library, old library,
Yep.
That's right.
prevailing wage rate.
And that was what, $700?
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully it's in here, but if it's not, then the process, I'll get a new quote and just send it out to the group and we might need to revote on it.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. I'll take care of it.
Thank you.
The other thing I had was I got an email, and you know about this, Stephen, because you're on that repurposing committee. I got an email from Rita asking about mass saves and weatherization of MN Spear Library and Town Hall. I went through buildings at shutesbury.org emails. It only goes back so far, and it has nothing there. And I don't know if stuff like this, Anna's quote, and these quotes should be saved onto the Google Drive, which that's shutesbury.org is a Google Drive, permanently there, so people can look them up in the future.
Well, can I ask what was Rita asking for?
If I had anything on weatherization or mass saves on those two buildings.
Well, we know that, from 2022 when I was chair, we didn't involve mass saves at all. I think she's looking to see if we can get, any kind of insulation work done as part of a mass saves program on the building.
Oh,
That's my guess. Because we did, I sort of remember we had a discussion related to that. Uh,
mhm.
I could be wrong, but that's what I think that's all about. So, you know, we
So anyway,
didn't we
on
didn't
the
pursue any of that.
I called Mass Saves and talked to a woman who actually lives in Coventry, Rhode Island. She gave me her direct line, and I'll go into town hall tomorrow, and I can get any electric bill account number, and she'll search, anything that was done to any building. She'll be able to look it up, and if not, I will ask her those questions. We might have to have someone come in and do an energy thing.
I think the question is whether or not say a town building can attach to any kind of funding for weatherization improvements.
I asked that.
I know that residential, we can do that. So that was the question that was raised at one of our meetings.
And it can be because I looked into that, and when talking to this woman Lisa, she said the same. She said, "Yep, we can look up any town building. It's just I need an account number." So,
Great.
and I'll do the legwork on that. So you're getting close to choosing what you're going to do with that building?
No, I mean what we decided was that the committee, are going to, and the committee is not going to decide. We're going to offer
Okay.
options. Um, but we decided that the first thing we were going to do is take a close look at town hall to see if town hall spaces could be more, say, efficiently used, and maybe um, some modifications can be made in the use of the existing town hall that would answer some of the needs or concerns of some of the other groups. Um, but I will tell you this, that one of Jeff's concerns was, change of use. So, change of use of the old M.N. Spear Library could require that we upgrade the building, like a bathroom, for instance. So I spoke with the chief of what's the department, Jeff?
FERCog,
FERCog in Greenfield.
or what you call frog.
Yeah. And what I learned was I asked him, about it, and he said, well, the library the MN Spear is a meeting space. It's a space to meet for books. So if it continues to be a meeting space for committees, or, if, say, it was a space that townspeople could rent, for a party, it's a meeting space, then it's not a change of use, and we don't have to put a bathroom in.
You talked to Jim, right?
Yes. Yeah.
He's Yeah, I'm on that committee, whatever, and he's the most knowledgeable person I've ever known. He even knows everyone's laws in all these different towns. Very, very frustrated with Shutesbury because we have so many different zoning laws compared to most. Um,
But that was really wonderful information to hear.
yeah, because
But
it kind of saves the town a lot of money.
yeah,
Bring it up to code. Well, that's great. I think the only thing else, anyone have anything else? The only other question I have is there a date when the books are being moved?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Is there a plan? Is that like going to be a community event of everybody like grab a box and walk it over, drive
part
it
of
over?
it, part of it was that for the children's books, and Jeff, you can correct me if I'm wrong, they're going to line Leverett Road with people, and it would be one person passing to the next, to the next, to the next, all the way into the library.
That's
That's
cute.
a theory.
That's cute.
Not every book though, just some of the children's books, just to be symbolic.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
But then moving the whole collection, I guess, Mary Ann's coordinating that with other people using pickup trucks and boxes and stuff like that.
Is that date has that been a schedule been decided on that, or are we still too far out on the construction to really pin that down?
I don't think an exact date has been determined. The word is we got a occupancy permit yesterday,
Oh, awesome. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's great.
but there's a few items. Punch list still has to be completed, and my understanding is there's some parts missing from the bookshelves, so it's going to be a few weeks yet.
It looks
Before-
great.
Yeah, hopefully.
Looks great inside.
And the heat's working, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
been working for a while.
Yeah. Awesome. That's good to hear. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing.
Great.
Anyone have anything else?
Nope.
I have a motion to end the meeting.
I move that we close the meeting.
Second.
I second.
Okay.
Dalmas, aye.
Again,
Cook. Sorry, Cook eye.
Michael Bouchard.
We're already off.
thank you all.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks,
Thank
Fred.
All right.